So as you know, in the past few months, there's been a lot of change in the showbiz industry. It's like we can't do anything anymore without getting criticized.
Yeah.
You know, lately so many programs have gotten boycotted or canceled because they're problematic, or lack diversity, or are employing sexual predators.
Amen, Ned. In the good old days, all you had to do to get a pilot greenlit was hire a hunky straight white man as the lead. Now, hunky straight white men like us have it harder than ever.
You're right about that, Ted. But luckily, us at corporate have come up with a simple solution. Women.
Women? Like my mom? Or my sister? Or my dumb wife and kids?
Yes, 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 and yes. See, the thing is, if you hire a woman to be the lead in your show, then no one can criticize you ever. Because criticizing a woman for any reason at any time is sexism. That's how it works.
That's brilliant, Ned. I don't really...
All right, yep, thank you. So that's how sexism works. So, what we need to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is we need to find ourselves a strong woman. Because once we cast a strong woman, then we'll just have all those chicks lining up. We're going to be feminist icons by the time they finish watching the first season.
So this is just a marketing technique.
Duh, Lori.
A capitalist ploy to rein in viewers. What helps? Sorry, to confirm, this show will do absolutely nothing with its platform and make the bare minimum of social commentary.
God, Lord, yes!
Do you really think strong women will fall for that? That we can entice them with some pink font and quippy hashtags?
Lori, women are desperate to see themselves on screen. Anything we put a woman in, they will watch. Even if she's one-dimensional, even if the writer's room is completely lacking in gender or racial diversity, women want to look at themselves so badly, they'll watch it under covers at night while their roommate is asleep.
I really think that...
Yeah, we need to start casting these women. All right, so, what kind of women are there, you guys?
Hot ones?
Frigid ones?
Hey!
That's not right.
Oh, thank God.
Our woman needs to be more than that. She needs to have talents, but also flaws.
Yeah.
She needs to have friends, but also enemies.
Oh, geez, boss, where can we find a woman who's all that? An open casting call?
Guys, I got it. An open casting call!
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kara. I am part of this. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so tonight during the show, Shannon, could we lower the tunes? Thank you. Tonight we're going to be featuring some strong leads who happen to be female. So our first strong lead who happens to be female is Crystal. Crystal, if you could please make your way to the stage. Thank you.
I'm an aura reader, if you couldn't tell by my by my aura, which is deep purple, so I have a greater awareness than most do. So it's fine if you didn't catch that. I will say, however, there's a really strong negative energy from over here, you guys. What's that about? Like, there's a deep red aura somewhere over here. I'm so sorry, are you angry with someone?
I mean,
It's fine, I get it. Mercury's in retrograde. We're all grown up black. What's your astrological sign? Cancer, yes. Makes sense, you guys. I'm just gonna need to ask you to believe in yourself a little more. So if you could use some of this peppermint essential oil and cleanse yourself, I would greatly appreciate it. Can you just yes, thank you. I'm just rubbing it in the smell. You know what, guys? I think we could all use a very nice deep breath, right? Do you feel it? Do you feel it too? I can feel it. Ready? Wow, that was wonderful. Thanks for that. Now that we've done a good enough cleansing, I'm sure you're all wondering who is Crystal? And why is she here and what is she doing and who is she doing? So many questions. I don't even know the answers myself sometimes. Just a quick little Crystal update. I did recently quit my job at Free People. The employee discount was great, but I couldn't work for a corporation like that, I had to live my truth. I wouldn't say I'm currently unemployed, but I would say my employment is in a state of transience right now, which is a bit of a different thing. Because I am brewing my own harm-free kombucha and also selling crystals at the Jersey Shore. Thank you for me at Booth 13. I'm just unconventional, I like Fleetwood Mac, but I only listen to the instrumental parts of that, so some people don't get that necessarily, which is fine. But that just means I'm more evolved than you, and I get it, trust me, it's hard, I was once like you were. And then I had a tarot card reading that changed my life. Well, unfortunately, I think I'm being drawn somewhere else right now. I'm feeling a strong pull outside of this room. And also, I have to go take my weekly bath, which I do in a concoction made from oat milk, essential oils, and recycled rainwater. I think you get it. If you need a tarot card reading yourself, or a crystal reading, or an astrological reading, just meditate on where to find me and I'll be there. Okay? Just one last thing, guys. Are you ready? We're going to do another cleansing breath. We're going to bring our hands to our third eye. Are you ready? Thank you for letting me be here today and being this space and being this practice and being a more open human being. All right. You're all such beautiful people. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I see something. Yes, that hat! Yes, that hat is beautiful! Thank you so much for sharing with me.
Next up we have Stand Up by Julianne Holmquist.
Hi everybody. So I've been thinking lately that, I really played my parents when I was a kid. I feel a little bad about it. I just showed way too much aptitude for science at a young age, and now I'm an English major doing a stand-up show at Fordham University, so you can see how I did not deliver on that promise to them. And, last semester I got into the creative writing program, and I was so excited to finally be an arts student that I almost bought myself overalls and clear-rimmed glasses. And if I'm honest with you guys, I'm still thinking about buying those clear-rimmed glasses. And I get, a little bit of a rush when I figure out something that's very basic about science or engineering. It comes to me, and I'm like, oh my god, who is she? Hashtag STEMinist, hashtag girls who code, hashtag women are the future, and that woman is me. At my internship last semester, I've learned how to italicize anybody who used MySpace in the day knows, but when I learned it, I was like, Ariana Grande isn't NASA. I am. Step aside, CEO of Boeing, David Muhlenberg. I'm the CEO of Boeing now. And you know, in high school, I always gave science a try. Like, biology, it was tedious and horrible for me. Chemistry, pain incarnate. But physics was my shit. Like, I decided to take it easy on myself because I was tired of being caught in the rat race of the honors AP program. And so I took honors physics instead of AP physics, and like that class was just worksheets. All of us had untouchable A's, and we knew it. We were acting like gods in that class. And we had this project, and it was called the Barbie Bungee Jumping Project. And I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and my physics teacher that year was from Kentucky, and he only lasted 1 year because we complained about him so much. And he decided to have us do a project that I think he thought would be accessible to us as women. The first week, we designed an outfit for a Barbie doll and constructed it out of craft materials that he brought for us. And it was the best week of high school ever. And then a couple other things you had to do for Barbie. You had to make her a helmet, you had to make her a harness and a bungee rope out of rubber bands, and you had to calculate the stretch of those to see how close you could get her to the ground if you just chucked her off the balcony. And so I did not care about this project because, as I have told you, I was a god in physics and I had an untouchable A. And I knew that if Barbie died, I'd be okay. I would move on. And so I was like working with these rubber bands, and they were super like thick, and like they're those kind of rubber bands where you're trying to get it around your index cards and you're like, are you doing your job? And so I cut them all in half, and my physics teacher was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just cutting these rubber bands in half. And he's like, do you think that's a good idea, young lady? And I was like, is it cheating? And he's like, I guess not. And I was like, well, it's the way I thought to do it. And he was like, all right, well, what happens if Barbie dies? And I was like, Barbie, first of all, can be anything she wants to be. So if Barbie dies, she can decide not to be dead. That's not up to you, Mr. McFly. And so, came to the day of the challenge. I had the lowest cost project because I only bought half of the rubber bands. So I was already winning. And then I looked this up in my school newspaper for accuracy. Barbie made it 2.3 inches above the ground, and I won, and I was crowned Queen of Physics. And my Barbie was displayed in the front of the classroom for the whole year. And so I learned in that project that all you have to do to be good at science is to cut all of the rules and to not give a shit. And maybe I shouldn't be the CEO of Boeing after all. Thank you.
Give it up for Julianne Holmquist! Alright, next up we have another strong lead who happens to be a woman. Please welcome Gwendolyn Marshall Waters!
Let's make this fast. I'm on my way to a meeting. In fact, I'm always on my way to a meeting because I'm a very important and very busy lady in a fast-paced metropolitan area. I'm a high-strung career woman with no time for a personal life. I work in a hospital, the White House, my own PR firm, or a male-led Fortune 500 company. I'm incredibly successful, which I choose to show off through my never-ending wardrobe from White House Black Market. Despite not having time to sleep, I've made the time to always look ridiculously sexy for the workplace. Somehow, my hair is always freshly blown out, and you hate me for that. Usually, interns flee when they see me coming, but occasionally we'll go out for drinks at a rooftop bar, and I'll order a glass of wine that costs more than your rent. And you'll see that I'm a real person with feelings and emotions, and not one of those hyper-realistic lady sex robots. I command respect, but not too much respect, that at least once a week I get to give an empowering speech about equality in the workplace, where I will conveniently leave out that as a white woman, I'm making more than my coworkers of color. But all the pencil skirts and blazers in the world can't make up for what I want most. A baby. Yes, underneath this icy facade, personal decision to freeze my eggs. And the even deeper, more personal decision to tell my entire staff about it. That way, they can be torn between wondering if I'm too bitchy to be maternal or seeking me out to tell me that they think I'd actually be a great mother. Newsflash, grunts, you don't have to tell me because I already know. I know everything. I know that I don't have a nurturing bone in my body, but that I'd still be super fucking good at being a mom because I'm super fucking good at everything. Also, I have the money for a nanny. Now hurry up, because if we don't leave now, I'll be late to my meeting because I refuse to wear practical shoes that allow me to get around quickly.
All right, thank you, Gwendolyn. I've been told I'm being a little bit too loud on the microphone. Sorry, not really. All right, give it up for Shannon Constantine doing some stand-up.
All right, let's get serious here.
Can you hear me? I assume you can. Yes, this is my women's history presentation. We're going to revisit some women's history. This is very important to all of us because we are all suffering because we really don't know the really important stuff about what's happened in history in regards to the women. Yeah, I make a great professor. All right, next slide, please. Yes, so this statistic, 3%, this is the percentage of words in high school and college history books in the United States that refer to women at all. Wow, fun. Next slide, please. Yes, but this is the most important question to me. We don't really know what percentage of these women in history came. We don't, do you all know what I'm talking about? Do you all know what coming is? I know this is Fordham at Lincoln Center, but I assume everyone here knows what an orgasm is. Please raise your hand if you know what an orgasm is. That's not enough of you. All right, next slide, please. Oh boy. Yes, I made little transitions and then forgot about them. So the first woman we're going to study tonight is Catherine the Great. She lived these years. Yes. And as you can see, she is a thick girl. All right, to the next, please. Yes, so she was the Empress of Russia. I don't think that's a title that exists anymore. I assume the 2016 election had something to do with that. She came to power after she led a coup against her husband, which I think is a very sexy move. I don't know if that helped them in the bedroom at all. I don't know if that helped her come. Maybe she started a coup because he wasn't satisfying her. This is what I personally like to think. Yes, she spread vaccinations against smallpox for subjects of the Russian Empire just across Russia, which is some shit that we can't even get done in the US today, so I think she deserves a lot of our admiration for that. She created the first college for women in all of Europe. Wow, I'm horny. She had many lovers, and she created the most genius system where she would promote any man who was in a bureaucracy position in the Russian Empire, and after serving 7 years in bureaucracy, she would automatically promote him to a court position just so she could fuck him. I'm sorry, what? This is what I wished Hillary Clinton would have done if she had become president. This is my fantasy of female leadership. So, in conclusion, Catherine the Great, great leader, clearly, and my personal thought is I don't think she ever came because no bureaucrat has ever made a woman come in all of history. But, however, reading all this badass shit about her made me come several times. All right, next slide, please. Yes, a blank, yeah. So this is Joan of Arc. As you can see, she didn't live for very long. When I was looking up stuff on Joan of Arc, I kept on being like, why can't I find a photo of her? That's a big girl. All right. No, the points, yes. So she was born to two peasants in rural France. That's hot, Les Miserables, we all know that. She led the French army against England at 18, probably wearing something that looked like that, and I'm guessing, like, if NASA doesn't have 2 medium-sized women's spacesuits, that probably this armor was not really well-fitting for her. It was probably like an old-ass man's armor, so she's clunking around in an old-ass man's armor on some drunk-ass horse, just fighting England, I guess. That's really attractive to me, personally. She was burned at the stake by fellow French people who were traitors siding with the English, which is some whole shit that I do not have time to get into right now because I don't know anything about it. And she was a martyr for the Catholic Church, so clearly she, like, lives for drama. I personally think that she did not come for a couple of reasons. One, all of the Catholic guilt. I personally have found Catholic guilt to be an impediment to coming for several situations. And also just because, like, she was probably also just, by being 19, she probably hadn't, like, I don't know, done enough exploring yet. I assume it took women a lot longer to, like, be comfortable with their bodies at that period of time. All right, next lady. All right, Patsy Mink. She is a more recent gal. She is an American. Let's see her photo. Yeah, look at all those flowers. That's very, you know, birds, bees, and stuff. All right, so she was a congresswoman from Hawaii. She was the first woman of color in Congress. That's some awesome ash sexy shit. She wanted to go to medical school, but no medical school that she applied to would accept women, so she decided she would just go to law school just so she could casually change the laws so that other women could get into medical school, which is like, what the fuck? Like, if I just find out that there's like 2 papers in a class, I just drop the class, and she decided, whatever. She wrote Title IX, which is the famous bill that allows, forces all these bitch-ass universities to provide equal funding for men's and women's sports teams, and obviously because of that, many women have been able to meet each other and make each other come as student athletes, which is really the greatest thing that athleticism has ever brought us. Again, first woman of color in Congress. She ran for president in 1972 as an anti-war candidate. I personally think that she would come once a week regularly, and she would, like, pencil it into her agenda. Like, I think that it was like, all right, so I'm going to, like, change gender roles forever in this country, and then I'm gonna, like, show off what a badass woman of color from an island state I am, and then I will come at 4:28 p.m. every Friday in the House of Representatives bathroom. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, and yes, next. And then Mulan. I think we're all very familiar with Mulan. Yeah, so here she is as a Disney form. Here's a more traditional rendering of her. Again, no photos. I don't know why the fuck that is. So, yes. So she is mythical, which is hot. Being mythical is hot. If you are not mythical, do not DM me. But at the same time, she was also a Disney princess, which is not hot because that is a children's franchise, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folks. All right, so she entered the army already knowing archery, martial arts, and sword fighting. So that is just, you know, a big eye-opener to me because I personally thought that Disney was always historically accurate. I don't know why that is. And so, yes, in her original story, when her father dies in the war, and she commits suicide. Her father dies at home, you know, some lazy ass while she's fighting in the war, and then when she comes home, her father is dead, and there's no, like, grandma that's like, sign me up for the next sport. No, it's just everyone in her family dies, and then she commits suicide so she can be with her father because, I don't know, family issues, I guess. Yeah, so obviously she's a much more, like, even more of a badass than we thought. The only flaw that I see in this storyline is that this, like, entering the army already knowing all of these things, that means that the Make a Man Out of You song was completely useless, which breaks my heart because that is the greatest piece of song cinema combination shit I've ever heard. And In conclusion, I think that she probably came once in her life, and it was at the moment she realized she had saved all of China. If saving China doesn't make you come, check yourself. There's something wrong with you. All right, next slide. Yes, that is it. Thank you. Please remember that every time you come, unless you're a cis man, in that case, fuck off. But every time that someone who's not a cis man comes, it is a beautiful act of defiance, and it contributes to the history of all people that we should be promoting. Thank you.
Brittany.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany. I'm a senior at your high school. My bestest friends are Brittany and Bethany. But Brittany's my bestest friend because she tells me what to do, and she says that Bethany is a social climbing whore. She also told me not to tell Bethany she ever said that, but I did, because I forgot. Brittany was so mad she made me walk to school for a whole week. But the problem is, I don't know how to get to school from my house. So I didn't go. The school called my parents after I hadn't shown up for a whole week and said I hadn't been there. So my parents filed a missing persons report. Well, I was just in my room the whole time because my blinds were down, so I thought it was still nighttime. Yeah, it's hard, you know, but guess what? Principal McNamara said I was severely incompetent. I don't know what that means. But Brittany said, she's a massive bitch. And I said, Britt, don't say that. Don't call girls bad names, because I'm a feminist. I'm all for women empowerment, because women stick together. That's why I'm sleeping with Bethany's boyfriend, Mark. But Mark said it's okay, because it's not cheating, because it happens at night and the sperm are asleep. He also said that I'm doing Bethany a big favor, because she doesn't have to suck his dick now. I help my friends out. Oh, right. Vote for Brittany for prom queen. Brittany exit stage right.
All right, Miss Bowman.
I'm going to take these heels off very soon at some point. Okay, you might be wondering why I'm dressed like this, and they called me the Marvelous Miss Bowman. Well, I have to say I am just like the Marvelous Miss Maisel. I don't know where my career is going to go. I don't like being the conventional woman, and I love speaking my mind to a large group of people about my possibly out-of-line stream of thoughts with no friction whatsoever. Speaking of no friction, I'm really good at taking shits. Like, too good, if I dare say. Like, I know that this is a tiny bit TMI, but I have a great amount of information about helping people pinch the loaf. I had colic when I was a baby, and that's when a healthy baby cries or fusses frequently, caused by things pertaining to digestion. I feel like this makes me feel like some sort of Rocky of like dropping the deuce or something, you know? Anyways, I'm just gonna spit out some advice. I'm gonna intro myself too. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, having trouble making like Snoop and drop it like it's hot in public? Too insecure to drop a deuce? Well, here's some advice from Hannah. Thank you. Yes, everyone. No, okay. Sorry about it. Okay, I understand the plight of a shitter. You don't want anyone to know you're shitting in public. Yeah, it's like the stigmatization of how taboo the poo is really getting to your head, you know? Like, here's some obvious and also unique ways to have a zen shit. Okay, one big issue is, one big issue people have about making an offering to the porcelain throne is the splash. Boom, boom, boom. I know, it's a big problem. The toilet bowl becomes fucking Met Opera, and you can hear the performance from 3 blocks away. Here's the one thing you should not do about this. Do not cover the toilet bowl with toilet paper to suppress the sound. It's fucking stupid. 1, you're gonna clog the toilet, like 100% sure. 2, you're just wasting toilet paper. Like, think of the trees, man. Come on, get it together, okay? Instead, just hold down the flush lever and let that log evacuate, okay? Although I understand it's kind of a waste of water, but think about it, wasting water or killing trees and being an idiot. That's my thing. It not only covers the sound of the splash, it also makes sure your stall doesn't smell because that baby juice is not there anymore, okay? Think of it as you being Scotty from Star Trek, and your butt nugget's like, oh, beam me up, Scotty. And then you're just doing your job transferring that fella to a different place, so use the physics of the flush to just get him out of there and boom, out of sight, out of mind, baby. Okay, with the approach of dealing with the bathroom environment, it's pretty obvious. Just drop that stinker during class while no one is there. But there is also a few single-person bathrooms around Fordham that you can use. Hi, I will be your flight attendant for your journey on the SS Bud Dragon Express. Your single-use bathrooms will be on the third floor of Lowenstein by the stairs on the east end. There are 2 bathrooms on the first floor by the mailrooms. There is even a single-use bathroom in your pants. Just shit your pants, okay? It's fine. We all get it. It's relatable content. Another issue is when at least 2 of you guys who follow my previous advice are both trying to have a peaceful time taking the Browns to the Super Bowl in the bathroom. One of you is on the toilet about to make peace with your booty, and while the other walks in and takes the stall. When the second person realizes they don't hear anything, the atmosphere becomes quiet and ever so tense. You both instantly know what is about to happen. You can't comprehend the idea of shitting next to each other, and if you do, the relationship drastically changes. Take this as a sacred bond between the both of you. For never again this opportunity will appear betwixt you's cheeks, okay? To ceremonialize, yes, this event, on the count of 3, both of you just hold flush and release the ass fruits, okay? After that, you're both trusted pals of the Lord, probably. You walk out of your respective stalls, wash your hands, and salute each other. You've done a service for your country and can move on your separate ways. Okay, my final relatable issue I'm going to talk about is when you're in a peaceful place about to drop a deuce, and then it turns into the anchovies episode of SpongeBob, where like people are just running in and out of the bathroom and like tiptoe through the window. That whole song playing, but they're saying, "Do you smell that? Do you smell it? That smell? A smelly kind of smell? The smelly smell that smells smelly." That's what they're going to say to you. And truly, there's no escape from the shame monster, for he has you in his grasp. The only thing you can do is Slav squat on the toilet, like this, get your heels on the lid, and then just let it rip. You just, you're gonna be like little Casper the Friendly Ghost, causing mischievous schemes while no one knows who it is. Thank you guys for letting me talk about shitting. I hope everyone pooped today.
Next up, we have Gigi.
I know, really weird name, but let's just say my parents had a knack for fortune telling. So right now, I'm single as a Pringle and ready to mingle, but not celibate, never celibate. Usually a girl like me, you would think, okay, she's a prude, she's not gonna have sex until like the 12th date, or 15th, 20th, I don't know, I've never not had sex on the first date, right? So, but no, that's just what my mother thinks. When people ask me out, they want what do they want? They want dinner and a movie, but I want dessert and your penis. I'm sorry, I have my phone on me because I need to check the DMs as they roll in. If
1 minute, okay? It's proven, right? All right, so anyway, yeah, your penis, your vagina, I don't discriminate. You know, I what my therapist calls a nymphomaniac sex addict who's wildly attractive, who I would like to sleep with. And needless to say, we bang. So, like, there's nothing wrong with being a slut, okay? But if you call me a slut, I'm gonna bite your dick off, right? No, there's a little song by an indie artist. Her name is Marielle Lynn, right? You may not know it, and I won't sing because I can't sing, but the lyrics go, I was a hoe, and I'm admitting it. Can't take it back because I did the shit. But I am not a hoe anymore. I exclusively have sex with hot buff older guys, or hot buff younger guys, or hot buff older women, or hot buff younger women. Honestly, you don't even have to be buff, or like that buff, or like buff at all. Like honestly, I'll take anything I can get. You, and you, and you, and you, any of you would bang. What a prize you won. My vagina. See, people think that being the sex maniac of the friend group is like all glamour and traveling and like, obviously, I'm gorgeous, which you can see. I'm very sorry for all the blind people out there. I hope my voice conveys how beautiful I am to you. Anyway, but it's not all fun and games. Sometimes people actually fall in love with me. And I'm like, ew, LMAO! And you know, I actually say the LMAO out loud because it makes them hurt more. Like, I'm not ready for commitment. I'm only 35 years old. When I'm 39, it'll be a problem, which is why I've already cryogenically frozen my eggs. So, when I finally marry that rich, ugly nerd my mom wants me to, I can give him children, possibly, and he can pay for a nanny. Because Lord knows I am not watching them. Anyway, my name's Jessica. Thank you.
Really, really seen. I definitely feel less represented by women in the media, real or fictional, as I've gotten older and more critical. But when I was little, there was one trope that I always identified with. I'm, of course, talking about the nerd. The nerd had bad hair and was good at school. And at the tender age of 6, I knew that I was good at school and had bad hair. But it was okay, because every TV show, book, or movie had a group of dumb guys and one smart girl that kept them in line. Like, sure, the Hermiones, the Violet Baudelaires, the Lisa Simpsons, and the Velmas may not have been praised for their good looks or sexual prowess, but dang if they couldn't get the gang out of a tight spot. And like, this is good, right? Because women are smart, and they don't have to be attractive, and they should be taught that. But there is definitely a correlation between smart and frumpy, because the only other option is to be hot but dumb. These characters are usually like blonde cheerleaders. They're the Karen Smiths and Brittany's of their cliques. And I mean, smart girl can split an atom, is a social outcast, while hot girl is popular but gets lost on her own class. And to me, both of these options are like lacking, which is why recently there's been a new invention, which is the hot nerd girl, which can also be known as the geek girl. She's smart, she definitely still has glasses, but her V-necks have been traded in, or her sweater sets have been traded in for V-necks, and her skirts now fall above the knee. She could be a brunette or a blonde, but she also might be doing something wacky with her hair, like pigtails or a gold streak, but she might also be a quirky girl. Now, quirky girl can be dumb or smart. She's definitely still hot, but she wouldn't want us to get into that because she's not like other girls. so that's it. Women can be smart, and they can be hot, and that's all we wanted, was to be able to do math while also wearing like mascara and a push-up bra and having 2 to 4 friends. In other people's eyes, sexism is over. We have nothing left to complain about. Like, that's it. Like, check, like, we're done. I can go now. But I can't, because like a pot of water left on the stove, I'm ready to boil over at any given moment with rage and fury. Being smart and being hot is not enough. What we need to normalize for women is the dumb uggo. Before I go any further, please note that when I say ugly or hot, I'm not talking about what this looks or like this looks like. Hot and ugly are feelings. Liberal arts school taught me that. And now I can go forward. We never see dumb, ugly characters on screen because to be on screen, you automatically have to be hot in some way to someone. we only describe real women in our lives or in our governments as being dumb and ugly. But I think dumb, ugly representation is important. Because yes, while when I was little I felt like a smarty pants, I've never felt dumber or uglier than I do right now at Fordham University. I have definitely gotten dumber since being here. I know all of you have too. Read, hold a pencil, or try a stick. And I know I've gotten uglier because when I go into class without makeup on, the professor takes out that attendance list with our pictures on it, and he goes, if being dumb and ugly was normalized, we could all just let our hair down and then not wash that hair. Then not wash it again, miscalculate tips, spell restaurant wrong, and take the wrong train home. And if we were taught that that's okay, we wouldn't have to lie awake at night for a week feeling bad about it and wondering what it all means. And I know that some of you are sitting here thinking that this is a stupid, counterproductive bit, but let me reassure you, no one has to be dumb and hot or smart and no one has to be smart and hot or dumb and ugly all the time. Some days you're one, some days you're the other. We all experience it. That's life. Occasionally you will go through a period where you're the same one for several days in a row. When that happens, you will either tell your friends that you're thriving or that just having a really weird time right now. And one response is not mutually exclusive to one state. You can be dumb, ugly, and thriving. I know I am. Thank you.
All right, again, refrain again. Now, folks, please welcome to the stage, Karina.
And I'm a little bit of a bitch.
Hey. So my name's Karina, and I'm an influencer, and I think that anybody can have clear skin if you just drink water. Or derma-drinkables, only 4 payments of $39.99 a bottle. So I'm actually going through a really hard time right now because I just found out that my papa paid for me to get into UC San Diego. I don't understand because their acceptance rate is 33.7%, right? And I went to high school at least 40% of the time. Should have gone in on my own. And now I'm getting all these really mean comments on my Instagram, and I lost my sponsorship deal with Flat Tummy Tea. And I don't know what to do because I've never faced any consequences for my actions ever. By the way, all Flat Tummy Tea does is give you diarrhea. I mean, not me, obviously. I don't poop. But you all. I don't even need it anyway to wash down my sugar bear hair gummies, so. So originally from San Francisco, but I moved to San Diego because I really wanted to branch out, you know? Spread my wings, get out of the bubble. I had to break up with my boyfriend Elon before I left. But now I'm with Xavier and we're doing so good. I love the way that his shoulder muscles make him look like there's another smaller version of him coming out. And he loves how I hate receiving oral sex and can orgasm 5 times anally with no foreplay or lube. I think I might have confused a few of you. Because I posted that photo of me making out with Amber with too much tongue at the lingerie yacht party a few weeks ago. But don't worry, because due to my own internalized lesbophobia and lack of understanding of what goes on in the world ever, I was just queer baiting all of you. Love Queer Eye though, it's a great show. That is such a cute shirt, where'd you get it?
My mom's closet.
Oh my god! That is such a coincidence. Because you know, if you use my promo code, WOQUEEN, you can get 4% off all denim thongs. By the way, guys, I'm live on Instagram right now. Everyone say hi. So before I go, if you're not following me, my Instagram is @KarinaK. That's @EMILY.
Next, stand up by Samantha Hughes.
Hello. My name is Samantha Hughes, and as anyone who's attended... Nope. Other one. Thank you. As anyone who's attended these events before knows, I have an uneventful love life. But that will not stop me from talking about it. So, my current theory right now as to why my love life is uneventful is because I spend most of my day just yelling into a mirror, who's prettier than me, a la Evil Queen. And that's like not an activity that like lends itself towards meeting people who aren't mental health professionals. Yeah. I went abroad last semester, so yes, I am a douchebag now, but that's not the point of this. A weird thing happened to me when I was over there. So, I was feeling, as the kids say, romantically unfulfilled. I'm the kids. So, you know, I'm thinking, my ex lives here. Why don't I just text them? I hear you all cringing. I was saved, don't worry. But I text him, and by text, I mean I sent him a picture of myself drinking directly out of a vodka bottle on Thanksgiving. Yeah, I did. And so, you know, he's clearly ignoring red flags. We're having a casual conversation. I'm about to be like, you want to hang? When I look on his Instagram and discover that this man has a girlfriend, but that's also not the point, has got a terrible haircut. Just an awful haircut. It's like a bowl cut parted down the middle. This guy's out here looking like number 4 from Codename 2. This man is just walking the streets looking like Bulby from Jimmy Neutron. Y'all remember Bulby? He was like backup Carl for when Carl just wasn't enough. So after that, just like horrifying disappointment, you know, I obviously gave up on Europe. And I was like, you know, I gotta start sowing my seeds for when I get back to America. So I decided to text this boy that I've been consistently flirting with since I was 12 years old. He's kind of a bad boy. And I don't say that because he's like a motorcycle or something. I say that because sometimes he drinks a lot of cough syrup and shows up at my house. Or like one time he sent me a picture of his penis and a thing of McDonald's French fries. We're just not going to unpack that one. So yeah, I text him, and he decides to go cross-platform and Snapchat me back a selfie, which should surprise none of you. And I open up this selfie, and this boy is bald! He's a cue ball! It's like someone took tweezers to Charlie Brown. Like a flesh-colored balloon head. I was like, thank God, you know, I've escaped another school break of like weekend at Burnsying this man's passed out body around parties in South Jersey. Praise be. The problem has been though, so since I've gotten back to Fordham, I've received some male attention, which is wild. I think it's because all the boys forgot my personality while I was gone. But yeah. So that's been really nice, but the problem is, you know, I've got some nice young men in my life, but I'm just spending every single day just thinking, don't get a haircut. Don't get a haircut. I'm not like, don't get a haircut. Don't get a haircut. Don't get a haircut. You might want to just think about it. All right, thank you, everybody.
Who works for a magazine. So I was that bland girl that you went to high school with that graduated from that prestigious school of communications, you know the one, and where I exclusively learned how to write clickbait articles and pastel Instagram stories. I got hired by some publication called Jade or Girly, and I share every listicle that I write about beauty blenders on all of my personal social media platforms. I just love writing, you guys. Even though it's my job, I really love writing. I never get sick of it, ever. My inspirations are Carrie Bradshaw and all of the girls on the Bold type now airing on Freeform. I live by myself in a brownstone in the West Village. My wardrobe is, vaguely trendy and designer. I go for brunch with my 3 best friends like basically every day. Unlimited mimosas, anyone? I'm just so in love with this crazy, beautiful city that my girlfriends and I get to experience while my parents pay the rent and for all of my living expenses. I'm a single 20-something in New York City, so as you know, I must have a robust and very active dating life. I'm talking to a new guy like every week. I'm dating neuroscientists and unemployed podcasters, and they all think that their jobs are more important than mine. Nevertheless, I'm also fucking my married boss. He's 45 and has 2 kids, but guys, I really think it's gonna work out. I have to be honest, though. With all of the layoffs at BuzzFeed and similar publications, I'm worried about my job security, the ownership of my work. I thought I'd be climbing the ranks of the publishing world like Andy from The Devil Wears Prada, but in reality, after 6 months of writing gift-filled articles explaining why Meghan Markle is a style icon, I'm probably just gonna pull an Amy Dunning Gone Girl myself. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so inspired right now. I just have to go home and write all of this down for my next post. I love writing, guys. I really love writing. I swear. Thank you.
Get excited for Stand Up by Marielle Sarmiento. Hi guys, my name is Marielle. I went to all-girls Catholic high school and I'm a triple Libra. So what does that mean? It means that I never learned how to act around men and I get a crush on any straight guy who's nice to me. If you think that occurrence is common here at the Lincoln Center, ladies, never let your guard down. So you're wondering, how do I function when any guy holds the door open for me triggers my open a wedding Pinterest board response? I've come up with a few tips on how I handle all my crushes. I've learned that having best friends are essential when you have a crush. They keep you grounded, they check you in, a little bit. So, Julianne, last year we were invited to a party that my crush was going to be at, and that wouldn't be a problem, but every time the crush got within 10 feet of me, I would just word vomit and panic a little bit. So we're okay, precautionary measures. So we decided we'd come up with this. If I got too crazy, if he came by, she'd just be reel it in. Real casual, just reel it in. So we're there, we're at the party, we're sitting by the pies. This party had pies. It was a great party, there were pies. We're sitting by the pies, and okay, so we're cool, we're chill, we're sober. Crush walks by, and he's Crush says, ooh, pie. I say, oh my god, pie, right? Don't you just love pie? Pie's great. I get out of this, Julianne. It works. Keep it. We're chill. So best friends are also really necessary if your crush has a girlfriend. Because by the rules of girl law, if I tell my best friend, I have a crush on this guy, she says, without fail, regardless of what the other girl looks like, you're prettier than her. Immediate response. Without breaking eye contact, without pulling her germ, you're prettier than her. If I say, I love Zayn Malik, I'm in love with Zayn Malik, my best friend better be Gigi Hadid, who? You're prettier than her. If my best friend says, I'm in love with Prince Harry, then I say, your skin is way glowier than Meghan Markle, which is a lie, because Meghan Markle is beautiful. But best friends, they keep your spirits up. So, I've also gotten really good at, talking myself out of crushes, kind of like a pep talk, but instead of Marielle, you got this, it's Marielle, stop. He's just said, Kay, you don't
need to send the screenshot to 6 and press stop. I also like to weigh the cost benefit of the crush, because like, I don't know if you know, but I'm like a Gabelli minor now. You know numbers. That's okay, I can joke about that, because no one from Gabelli comes to Scotia. So yeah, I had a crush on this guy recently, and he had this best friend. And I was thinking, oh, he's gonna be your best man. Not at my wedding. So you know, I like talked myself out of the crush. Yeah, I don't know you that well. I don't know where like your last name, but I know that your best friend cannot be the best friend at my wedding. So I can't have a crush on this. Shut it down. We gotta shut it down. But you know, you don't always need to talk yourself out of a crush. Like crushes are fun, right? Crushes are fun sometimes. You know, like when you see them in the tunnels, that little burst of dopamine. But you know what too much dopamine causes? Psychosis. Crushes are fun, but you need to learn where to draw the line. For me, I know the line has been crossed when I'm like daydreaming about my crush and I get so into my complex reality that I'm like fantasizing about our divorce. Like, I don't know your hometown, I don't know where you live, but I know that I signed the prenup and I get the kids. Real bad. But you know, having a crush is exhausting. It's very tiring, so if all else fails, you can always tell them. You could tell your crush. Because the only thing worse than liking a man is him knowing. Thank you.
Remember Marielle! And next up we have Cassie.
It's so good to be home in my apartment after a long day of volunteering at the library/succulent garden for kindergartners and puppies with 3 legs. You know, you move to New York City to be independent, and then all of a sudden you're just never alone. Like my mom told me that when I moved to New York City, it would be so different from the Midwest. Like, she said that I really had to watch my back, and that people were going to try and take advantage of me everywhere I went, and that nobody gets to know their neighbors, so it'd be hard to make friends. But the guys across the hall are so nice. Like, Nick is super funny, and I love Jared. I mean, I don't love Jared.
Oh, sweetie.
But yeah, so on the first day I moved in, they all said that we should like exchange keys in case one of us gets locked out, which I thought was so considerate of them. Like, they're always there to look out for me.
Oh, sweetie.
And now, whenever I come home, Nick is sitting on my couch watching an episode of The Office, but I feel like we're really bonding. Like, I'm getting to know him through watching The Office with him sitting on my couch. He said that it's just easier for him to watch it at my place because my Netflix password is shorter than his.
Aw, sweetie.
And Jared, I really appreciate his eye for decor and for appliances, because he said that my fridge is really good at keeping things cold, so now he keeps his beer in my apartment. And he said that if I hadn't been gluten intolerant, that I could totally have one at any time, which is so considerate.
Oh, sweetie.
And, you know, I just wish I could find a guy in the city who's as considerate as Jared. I saw a couple today. They were so cute. They were carrying these big boxes, and they looked like they were moving into the apartment across the hall that the guys live in. But Nick told me that they're not moving in. They're just his parents, and they're staying for a little bit. And then he asked if he could crash on my couch for the next month, and he said that he's totally still paying rent there, but my couch is the color blue, and blue helps you sleep. Fun fact. And then he pulled in an air mattress, and he said that was for Jared. Which, whatever. Oh my god. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I think that I'm going on a date with Jared tonight. I'm not really sure. He invited me to this event called Crossfade NYC. And I didn't look into it yet, but I think that it's like an arts and crafts and wine night, which is like a super cute date idea. But I'm not sure if it's going to be a date because he said that he has to pick up Molly on the way. And I said, who is she? And he said that I would figure it out, and then he left. So, I mean, if it's not a date and there's another girl there, at least it's another opportunity to make a friend in the city.
Get excited for your potential last time to see Kara Hogan do stand-up.
Hello, my loudness cannot be contained. Hello everyone. So, I have notes because like there's no time to memorize shit when you're trying to find a job. Where was I? Hello everyone. Yes, as Frankie mentioned, this is my last time doing stand-up here at Florida. Spoiler alert for the end of semester show, which I know you're all gonna come to. Anyway, cool. So I just want to let you all in the audience know that like I'm your future, and I say that because I'm pretty sure all of you are freshmen because I've never seen any of you in my life. So. I've sort of recently come to the conclusion that I'm a campus celebrity, and you're all like, Kara, what the hell? How big is your ego? But I'm here to tell you that it's not just my inflated ego. People came up to me at Fordham's Winter Ball a few months ago, and they were like, oh my god, it's like meeting a celebrity. I've seen you in all those stove shows. And I was like, oh my god, if I'm your idea of a celebrity, what are you gonna do when Gwyneth Paltrow, aka Goop, shows up on this campus? I just really wanted to say Goop. I've been obsessed with saying Goop. And I watched Shakespeare in Love the other day, and I just was like, oh my god, Goop can act! Anyway. But, you know, if you're not convinced that I'm a campus celebrity, I was recently nominated for an Undie Award for Best Performer or whatever, and, like, that's the closest I'm ever going to get to Oscar, so, you know, I'm really relishing this moment. It's just, you know, it's just an honor to be nominated, you guys. Cool. Where was I going? So yeah, I'm a senior, I'm about to graduate. I have decided to not go to grad school. I'm gonna try to get like a real job. But this is causing like some trauma for me. It's because, so I'm a triplet. Fun fact about me. This is not a set about me being a triplet, which I know you'd all rather hear. But so, you know, from a young age, I have two sisters. From a young age, you know, we've been very competitive with each other. It's like, who read the first book? Who lost the first tooth? Who disappoints our parents the most? It's all a big competition. And I am, you know, upset to report that both of them are attending graduate school programs, so they will both have master's degrees. And I just really can't handle the fact that I, the one with the highest SAT score and GPA, will not have a master's degree. So now I am thinking I need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars so I can feel morally equivalent to my sisters. I hate myself so much. Oh, I just have a note here that says March Madness. Question mark, why? So anyway, I'm looking for a job. That's really been a fun roller coaster ride. So I want to work in the theater, but like not like as an actor, like doing like boring admin stuff. But here's the problem with that. I hate theater people despite being one myself. Now, theater people are really strange because they're like too weird to function in regular society, so they all kind of like, you know, cluster together. But here's the thing, I want to be normal. I want to exist in regular society, but I can't. Those stupid fucking theater people just call me with their acceptance of the weirdo. And, you know, I just want to let you know that if you've never encountered, like, professional theater people, like, I'm not talking, like, actors, because that's a whole fucking other thing, you know. An actor says a word and you're like, oh my god, we get it, you've been to a scene study class. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, I'm talking about, like, administrative people. These people are crazy. Again, because they're not actors, but they have no idea how to function normally in an office setting. So I've been going on these interviews for theater company jobs, and you know, I just want someone to ask me a normal interview question like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Tell me about a difficult situation at work and how you solved it. No, do you know what the kind of fucking questions these people ask? They're like, what are your values? What drives you? What is your relationship with your father like? What happens when we die? When does the interview end and the psychological trauma begin? So I'm just like, every time I have an interview, I like fucking like go through it. And my thing is like, I really like when people are honest. I like being honest, but I'm really terrified of vulnerability, as you can see by me doing stand-up on stage. And like, I said this in an interview, they were like, what do you value? And I was like, oh, I value honesty. And then this fucking guy keeps looping back and all these questions, and he's like, I know you value honesty. And I'm like, shut the fuck up! Anyway, I got called back for a second interview, so I guess I was honest enough. So I guess I'm gonna end this by saying, not talking about March Madness. So I guess I'm gonna end this by, I've been sort of jealous because everyone's like talking about their dating lives. No, I have to talk about mine. I got this, I'm on the apps. And I got this like amazing pickup line the other day. Actually, it was like a month ago, but I just wanted to share it because like most people on Tinder are like, oh my god, I love your smile. And I'm like, great, it's because I'm not, physically attractive. I get it. You're just trying to pinpoint something nice to say to me. Anyway, this isn't self-loathing time. This is stand-up time. I promise I'm almost done. Oh my god. So this, this wonderful gentleman named Hank, we matched, and he said 2 things. Enter. I love your bangs. Thank you. I'd love to bang you. Damn, you got me good there, man. Anyway, I think I'm gonna just leave it there because I literally just improvised this entire stand-up set, but thank you guys so much.
Please give a warm welcome to Kelsey.
Thank you. Hello, I am Kelsey Windermere. I am the perfectly crafted nerd here to tell you about the perfect intersection of my personality, which lives at the intersection, of course, of being a woman, being smart, and not deserving respect from men. Yes, but of course, I, as the token nerd in this group, totally understand your opinion of that. That is totally logical because of course, why would anyone want to hear what a biochemical engineer curing Alzheimer's has to say? Yes. As you can see, I do wear glasses. They are unfortunately functional. The reason why I do wear these glasses, of course, is so that I can let the male co-stars I work with know that I can see past their bullshit. Yes, of course, for this reason, they prefer my more attractive friend. Yes, she is the all-American woman, by which I mean her hair is flat and she cannot identify South America on a map. So of course they know she is great at fucking. I, of course, think that I personally would make a logical match for one of the male leads, but the writers wrote hemophilia and chronic dry heaving into my character last season, so alas, I have no attractive qualities. But of course, my male co-stars are all panty droppers, and they are all panty droppers in the exact same way, genetically speaking, because they are all Kevin James. Yes, the producers did a lot of polling about what the target demographics of this show would like, and every single demographic came back with the single request: please have more Kevin James. So he just plays all 3 male leads, and then they edit him into the same scenes in the post-production process. Yes. There was once a scene when I was given the opportunity to wear high heels and walk into one of the 2 apartments that all of us, the Kevins, myself, and my best friend all live in, thanks to Mr. Chuck Lorre. And so I walked in, of course, in the heels, and one of the Kevins immediately shot himself. Having observed all of the Kevins over the years, I have to admit that does sound like something he would do. So, of course, he shot himself, but yes, you all may want to know, he regenerated in the next scene. White Jesus brought him back to life. White Jesus was the only other request that our target demographics had for this television show. Thank you, Les Moonves. And anyway, so then, of course, then one of the other Kevins kept throwing up at the sight of my legs in heels, which, yes, of course, does sound like something that Kevin would do. Yes, one of the Kevins did seem to, like, enjoy it as a bit, as a joke. I assume that because the laugh track played for about 38 seconds after that. Of course, if he's into me, the writers will not allow that to become a serious plot line. In conclusion, I have to go now because I have to do my weekly scene in a library. I believe this week my job will be to read a Russian dictionary, hint that I am aroused, and also hint that I am a lesbian. Thank you.
Natalie, Krichmar, and some stand-up! Hello, is it on?
Now it is. Okay, so do you guys remember that like weird phase a few years ago where like people were just making things out of patterned duct tape? What was that? So like my brother was really into that, right? So he made a wallet entirely out of duct tape. I, at most points in my day-to-day life, feel like that wallet. Functional, yet not entirely practical, and held together solely by duct tape and chutzpah. If you don't know what chutzpah is, a dictionary definition is shameless audacity. I call it Jewish energy. So, all jokes aside, I actually think I'm a pretty put-together person. You know, I go to the gym, I have a skincare routine, I have to piss so bad because I drink the recommended amount of water on a daily basis. But occasionally, I like to experience the sensation of fun. And occasionally, this fun involves substances. Now, have you guys ever been so drunk or high and had a thought that was so important that you had to write it down? Let me set the scene, right? 6:10 a.m. Saturday, March 16th, I wake up cold sweat. With one thought in mind, a thought that was so genius, so profound, so important that I just had to write it down before I went back to bed. And here it is. So let's unpack this. What was a 6:10 a.m. still drunk from the night before Emily trying to communicate to herself and quite possibly the world? The way I see it, there's two options, right? Number one, I'm the village Catherine. Or number two, I am the Catherine of the village. Now, the lack here of anything resembling punctuation leads me to believe it is option two. However, the events of my 15th birthday lead me to believe it may be option one. Now, stay with me. The night of my 15th birthday, my mother gave me this beautiful bean necklace, you know, bean-shaped. And she came into my room at precisely midnight, drunk, as I presume one is on the eve of their daughter's 15th birthday. And she said to me, Emily, we got you this little bean because you are our little bean. And you bring rice to the whole village. Now, I spent years trying to figure out what that means because she will offer no explanation when I ask, which seems to be a recurring theme for her because she also won't tell me my blood type and gets very offended every time I ask, so I just assume I don't have it. Blood, that is. But you know, I digress. So to sum up, right? If I am, as my mother said, the rice bringer, and I am the village, then I bring myself the rice. And at the end of the day, isn't that feminism?
do the evening before because I was supposed to go on a date, but it turns out that I was actually getting catfished. The man, he was an undercover police officer. He was supposed to be selling me drugs, but he fell in love with me instead, which was nice. So, you know, we talked. He was straight up seducing me. His boss found out. He got fired. He wasted a lot of company resources. He asked if I still wanted to go on the date, but he's 63 and he's married and he's out of a job now, so it didn't seem like the right call. Yeah. So, you know, my hair's flat, my arm hair's gone, and like nowhere to go. I shaved my arms for the date, but not my legs, because my doctor told me the thing on my leg is actually from shaving. And so I can only shave my legs once a week, but my arms are like an everyday job. I talk about body hair a lot for someone you've never seen with body hair. Ooh, there's a thing in my hair. This is a Dorito. And this is a butterfly's chrysalis. Hope I don't accidentally eat the wrong one as part of the visual gag. So anyway, I was shaving my legs in bed. I was really tired. I fell asleep, and now I'm 3 hours late for surgery. Gah. I know what you're thinking. I'm such a mess. Mentally, physically, in all professional and social scenarios. Doubled gah. But you know, I think I'm doing all right. I'm not stylish, but I'm mentally stable. And I'm still hot and employed. And you know what? It's true that I am perpetually single, but every once in a while, I fuck James Marsden.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, but just heard my introduction, hi, I'm Natalie. And I'm assuming, if you don't know who I am, then you haven't had a meaningful conversation with me in the last year, in which case, you don't know that my sister is engaged. She's been engaged for about a year now, which is great, because she's only 4 years older than me, which means my parents now have an official timestamp in a clock on when I need to be in a relationship by, which I just love. It's wonderful. It's totally fine. I'm not upset about it at all. But anyway, as maid of honor, I'm sure you know I have to give a speech at her wedding. And I was like, great, love speeches. You know, I just stand up on the side sometimes, so I'll give a speech. And Emily went, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop yourself. There's things you can't say in your speech. And I went, I'm sorry, what? What do you mean things I can't say? She goes, you know my deepest, darkest secrets? And you think they're funny. And I went, no, I don't. And she went, yes, you do, because you tell them at parties all the time, and I'm never a fan of it. Whatever. Even though I think they're funny, Emily's convinced that they'll somehow ruin her fiance's family's opinion of her, and somehow, permanently stamp her as someone who's not good to be married to. I don't think that's the case, but just to get it out of my system, because the wedding's about a year off, I thought it would be a fun thought experiment to do the speech my sister's afraid I'm going to give at her wedding. What do you guys think? Okay, so set the scene. I don't know why this is loose, but that makes me nervous. Set the scene. It's my sister's wedding, a beautiful venue. Dinner's being served. It's like cocktail hour is done, and the DJ's gonna go, please welcome, I don't know why he's speaking like that, that's just what I think. Please welcome the maid of honor, Natalie, to give a speech for her sister. And I'll walk out, hi guys, hi, how are you? Same thing I did before. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Emily's younger sister, Natalie. It's so nice to see all of you for the first time. I love it so much. I love speaking in front of groups of people. And, you know, I also love my sister. And it just feels like just yesterday we were little kids, and we were sitting in the car, and we were driving to Six Flags, and
Uh-oh, Emily started to get car sick. Yikes, we've all been there. And the thing is, we're going 75 miles an hour down a highway, and my mom doesn't want to pull over. So instead, she takes a Ziploc bag that has my inhaler in it, and dumps the contents out and goes, here, and hands it to Emily for her to throw up in. That's fine. Emily vomits and then seals the bag shut, and because she doesn't want to sit there holding a warm sack of her own vomit, she rolls down the window and tosses it out. Which again, let me remind you, we're going 75 miles an hour on the highway in traffic. So the vomit bomb hits the windshield of the car behind us and explodes. Now, I don't know what he was thinking, but I guess when that man woke up, he probably didn't think that he was going to get hit with vomit on his way down the freeway. That's such a funny story, right? Classic sister things, am I right? Embarrassing, but we've all been there. No, in all seriousness, Emily's done a lot of growth since then, and I really appreciate the woman that she's becoming. You know, some people would look at certain experiences in her life and go, that was bad, or that was a mistake, or she shouldn't have done that. No, not I. Those are all learning experiences, and they made her who she was today. Like when my sister, when she was in 9th grade and I was in the 6th grade, asked me on the car trip to my brother's house, she went, Natalie, I have to ask you a question. I said, sure, Emily, shoot. She said, do hippos have legs? I went, what? And she went, do hippos have legs? And I went, of course, Emily. Why wouldn't they have legs? She goes, I don't know. I guess I just thought they were fat cow waterworms because I've never been to the zoo before. That wasn't her stupidity showing. No. That was her questioning the intellectual framework placed upon her. And I know, Natalie, you're thinking, but what about the time Emily wanted to send a promo called Send a Bag of Dicks to your cousin, Sarah, when you were in high school, which are, the bag of dicks, like Strip Your Enemies Glitter, were like little gummy bears in the shapes of penises that you could send people. And she went, Natalie, I'm going to put your email address down on the listing instead of mine because I don't want to be responsible for this. That wasn't her scapegoating me. No, I know that's what you were thinking. She wanted to make me feel like I was a participant in her life. And now you're probably thinking, but what about the time that when Emily got drunk in Miami on spring break and she threw an entire glass of water into your other cousin Kelly's face and then when told Emily you should apologize, that was rude? And she went, I'm not sorry. Was it her being unreasonable? No, she was sticking to her side of the argument. And I bet you're all thinking, Natalie, how could you mention these 3 things and not mention the time that Emily chugged an entire water bottle of vodka when she was 14 years old before going to a Jets game, and then when at the stadium got contacted by the security at the stadium because she was acting erratically and couldn't walk in a straight line, and when the security guard asked her to walk in a straight line after following her into the bathroom where my sister vomited and going, have you had any alcohol? And Emily went, no, I don't drink because drinking is wrong because I'm underage. I accidentally, hear this out, I accidentally ate a cupcake that had my allergen of gluten in it because the cupcake stand wasn't clearly labeled and I haven't had gluten in a long time, so of course it made me sick. That wasn't her trying to cover her ass. No. That was her thinking on her feet. And I truly believe, Brandon, that these skills that Emily's had from all the experiences in her life will behoove you in your marriage going forward. So if everyone could just raise a glass, please. Let's give 3 cheers and a warm welcome, or I guess a send-off because it's a marriage, to Emily and Brian. Brandon, Emily and Brandon. Cheers.
Can this be over already? And I'm thinking the same because I have to pee really bad. I'm in the show, so I can't leave. Okay, this is a weird question, but have you guys ever seen that video of that weird robot and it's dubbed over with Snoop Dogg, smoke weed every day? Have you ever seen that? It's like 3 seconds long. No, okay, so I say that a lot. I don't like weed. It makes me anxious, but I say that a lot. One time, time, I was on the phone with my mom, and she talks for like 7 minutes straight, so I zoned out. I look at my roommate, and I say, oh, smoke weed every day. My mom says, what'd you say? I'm not kidding. And she's like, smoke weed every day? I don't smoke weed! No, on the occasion, yes, but I vastly prefer alcohol. See, I'm not 21. I'll be 21 in like a month and a half, but I do have a fake ID. And my mother, who also serves as a fake ID, she does this thing called brings me to a liquor store in Coney Island, tells me that I can get whatever I want within reason, and then says, don't become an alcoholic like your father. She's right to say that sometimes I do have a problem. But I'm here to tell you many funny stories that have happened while I was drunk, because I can't control myself. It's not every stupid thing I've ever done, because that would be way too long. This is just a sampler. Yeah. All right, I have to open it up in documents, because I forgot. All right, so one thing, a lot of people here went to this party. This book is really hurting me. A lot of people here went to this party last year, but a girl in Stokes, I don't know if she's here right now, Adina, threw a party at her apartment in Brooklyn last year. And I got way too drunk. It was on a rooftop, and I was scared everyone was going to accidentally fall off the roof and die. It didn't happen, but I did fall down the stairs. And my glasses fell off my face. My belt was gone. All I remember is laying. I can't remember if it was face down or like face up, whatever. I was laying on the stairs. It was face down, face down. I was laying face down on the stairs, and someone asked me if I needed help, and I said, leave me here. Then I remember waking up in the Uber, going across the Brooklyn Bridge, and looking at Emily and saying, please Venmo request me, I feel so bad. Next thing I know, I wake up the next morning, only in a t-shirt and my underwear. And then my roommate looks at me and laughs, and she says, do you remember? And I'm like, remember what? And then apparently I walked in. Samantha Hughes also helped me in. I walked in, fell, slammed my knee down on the floor, laughed and said, I'm so drunk. Yeah, so I woke up, bruises everywhere, knee fucked up, ankle really fucked up. That was the second time I've ever sprained it in my life. I sprained my ankle 3 times. That was the second time. First time I was running in the hallway at school because I was lame and a nerd. Third time, also drunk. Let me get to that story. So, went to my friend's housewarming party. Got way, way too drunk. I was really drunk. You know how they tell you don't mix liquor? Well, guess what? I mixed liquor. I was drinking a million things. Then I was like, let me drink some of this dragon fruit flavored rum. I tried to get into the bathroom full. Try to access the garbage, couldn't figure it out. So what I do, like any normal person, is vomit all over the bathroom door. And then, the person comes out of the bathroom, I go in, finish vomiting, but then help everyone clean up the vomit. Because even when I am drunk or high, I must clean up my messes. Like I said to one of my roommates here, I was on a substance, not alcohol, a drug. And I said, I'm so high I can't get up to pee, but I have to pee. And she says, if you pee, I'm not going to clean it up. And I get really mad, and I'm like, I fucking peed, of course I'm going to clean it up. It's my fault. I will go to Dwayne Reed and buy cleaning supplies. I'll buy carpet cleaner. It's my fucking pee. So yes, also at that party, I broke one of their succulents. A lot of you may have heard it was all the succulents. It was one of the succulents. One. And I was so drunk, I didn't know I broke it until I saw dirt all over the floor. Because I didn't hear it. I just couldn't hear it. Also, I have so many examples because I'm a messy bitch. All right. Another example. All right. Recently, my roommate had her boyfriend over, and we were drinking. And her boyfriend, he's here right now. I'm sorry correct me if I'm wrong, but he says something like, because he's an engineering major, I'm going to shit on engineering major. He says, when I get out of college, I'm going to be making like 6 figures. And I scream, if you get a job! See, I didn't remember this until I woke up the next morning, and on a Trader Joe's brown bag, magnetated to the fridge, it says, no one blank Sabrina, you're gonna be poor! I was like, well, I say that sober all day, so I don't know what I could. And then I think about it, and I'm like, I was writing the set, I'm like, yo, fuck STEM majors. All STEM majors think they're gonna be rich because they stuck their dick in a calculator. birthday party. A lot of these involve the same friends. I got like 5 friends, and they all live with me. And Samantha Hughes, 6 friends. So I get really drunk. We go to the 4th floor lounge to the vending machines. I lay face down on the table instead of buying anything. And everyone's like, Sabrina, please get off the table. Who knows who's gonna come? And I say, okay, and then I couldn't figure out how to get off the table because I didn't know how my legs worked. Anyway, so that is it, and my mom was right for the concern. Thank you.
So, that was a lot, wasn't it, fellas?
Yeah. Not to be like sexist or anything, but don't you think they were all a little
Annoying?
crazy boring? Because they are superficial and unrealistic because you continue to pigeonhole women into a box, which even if it's supposed to be a empowering or relatable box, is still catering to what the white heteronormative patriarchy wants a woman to be.
Dang, Lori, calm the fuck down.
No, Ted. I think Lori here might have like a point. That's right, Lori. It's hard to be a woman, 'cause of the expectations. Yeah.
Yes, that is my point. A trope of a woman is still garbage because it's just that, a trope. No one woman is one thing. Got it. So we were wrong and you were right.
You just want to explain that again real quick? You know, like, tell us what we need to do.
Okay, I think we need to see what these women are really like, okay? In their real lives, uninfluenced, completely genuine. And the best way to do that? An 8-minute improv set. Ladies, get on up here!
Yes, improv set.
Ah, you've done it.
Yeah, my best man.
Hey, we're like, I don't know, mac and cheese in a box. Does anyone have a suggestion to inspire an improv set? Anything at all?
Birkenstocks!
Birkenstocks?
Birkenstock.
Birkenstocks? Oh, thank God, yes. Birkenstocks.
So I have this interesting tick, which is I don't like feet. I find them personally disgusting. So what you just saw me walking up here barefoot was a big step in my personal life. And it took me a lot to be able to wear open-toed shoes, like Birkenstocks. I know the suggestion. And my sister, the aforementioned Emily, is a fashion buff, so she says herself, and she hates Birkenstocks because she thinks that they are like a moral affront on her personally, like an attack. And so every time anyone in my family wears them, she doesn't hesitate to make comments about our shoes passive aggressively, oh, aren't my shoes so cute today? And we're like, fine, Emily, yes, I know I'm wearing Birkenstocks. And yeah, that's just my little tidbit for you.
All right, hello, welcome to the congregation of this church that used to be a movie theater. All right, it is time for us to discuss our one central moral belief. We hate velvet clothing.
Amen!
Amen. Amen. Does anyone feel the spirit in them today to testify about their hatred of velvet? You got a testimony?
Oh, okay.
The spirit is with her.
All right. One day, I was in the supermarket. And I saw this man. And he wore this big velvet jumpsuit, and it made me crawl under my skin. It was all velvet red, crimped and everything. I looked like the devil. Oh.
I have a confession.
Yes?
Forgive me,
Oh,
for I have
no.
sinned. I love velvet. I'm so sorry, I just needed friends.
Everyone,
Don't do that.
I can't believe Mr. Murphy, you keep bringing your son here every week, and every week he just gets up and rudely tells us that he loves velvet. Why don't you take him to another church?
Listen,
Welcome to the Church of Crushed Velvet. Yes, I see you notice the velvet on the ceiling, and the walls, and the pews, and my velvet vestments. I'm sure you love it. Now, before
wait, is that a crucifix that is made completely of velvet?
It's a crucifix made of crushed. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Jesus crushed.
Yes. You did find where you belong. I appreciate you coming also and all of it, so I love it. Before we can get Mass started, because I know this is the pre-Mass tour for all the new members of the congregation, I want you to speak a little bit what personally moved you to Velvet, because for me, I like the touch of it. I like the texture. And that.
So yeah, my therapist said a big step in my personal life was if I got over passive aggressiveness.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, anyway, on another note, don't you love when the kitchen's clean? I do love I know we're best friends and roommates, and I personally like it when the kitchen's clean, but that's just my opinion.
Oh no, that's great, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just totally related to our other topic about not being passive aggressive. And I really love when I leave notes for you to do the fucking dishes and you throw them away. I love that.
Welcome to Congress. I just want to say I'm sure you're all very smart Congress people and you're very capable of doing the work. I mean, that's such a nice suit you have. It looks so great on you.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Do you like my suit? It becomes Birkenstocks, baby.
What interesting shoes.
I love that for you.
Well,
I love that for you.
I'm from Nebraska, so
Toes out in Congress. That's a
Congress.
Don't you think that's not appropriate?
Hey God, it's me, Jesus.
I was just wondering.
I really prefer when people are Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, because I feel included. When they're just talking to the Father, that makes me feel excluded.
Oh, well, I already knew that, of course. I'm omniscient, but
Yeah.
yes.
I didn't want to come outright and say it, but it just.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Wow, what a little bitch you are. I'm sorry. Does the Holy Spirit mean nothing to you? You think that she doesn't take a backseat to us all the time?
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? God, I know that my soul was about to enter a person and I'm gonna go into the world, but I'm getting a whiff of this whole thing called feet that people have, and I don't want that. I'm not about feet.
Can you describe the smell, the feetness?
Oh,
Because I don't understand the concept of feet as I am the Holy Spirit.
What the fuck are those? How dare you?
Those are my hoofs.
Honey, sweetie, just sit right there. Yeah. So the teacher sent home a report yesterday. Paul has been taking other kids' shoes off in class and
why?
I mean, I can explain it if you want me to.
Oh, okay.
I did send the report.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
We come from a very open home,
Yeah.
we always were our kid. What are we
Yeah.
doing in Paul?
Leave your shoes at the door and
No,
your